Hello and welcome back to the channel Science Math Engineering. Today we are going to solve the APSC Public Health Engineering Department 2021 Mechanical Engineering paper for Assistant Engineer Part 1. So let's get started. A heat pump absorbs 10 kilowatt of heat from outside environment at 250 Kelvin while absorbing 15 kilowatt of work. It delivers the heat to a room that must be kept at 300 Kelvin. The coefficient of performance of the heat pump is, so the answer is, the coefficient of performance is 1.66. See, T1 is given 300 Kelvin, T2 is given 250 Kelvin, Q2 is given, that is 10 kilowatt, and W is given as 15 kilowatt. Now, heat pump is not reversible, so COP would be Q1 divided by W. Had this heat pump been reversible, our COP would have also been equal to T1 divided by T1 minus T2. But as it is not reversible, so our heat pump in COP would be only Q1 divided by W. So which comes to be around 25 by 15, that is 1.66. So we'll go to the next question. Which of the following is not a rotating machine? A. Centrifugal pump, B. Gear pump, C. Jet pump, or D. Vane pump. So the answer is, a jet pump is not a rotating machine. So jet pump is a reciprocating machine. It can lift water up to 60 meter and has a low efficiency of about 25%. And it can also take out muddy water and so it can lift water from wells of smaller bores and can be also used in mining or for pumping oil. Now the other type of pumps that are there, these are positive displacement pump and they are rotating pump. Okay, so we'll go to the next question. The emissive power of a black body is P. If its absolute temperature is doubled, the emissive power becomes, so the answer is, now from Stephen-Boltzmann law, we know that E is equal to epsilon into sigma T to the power 4. Epsilon is the emissivity of the body. For a black body, it is 1. Then sigma is equal to 5.67 into 10 to the power minus 8 watt per meter square per Kelvin to the power 4. This is known as the Stephen-Boltzmann constant, and T is the absolute temperature in Kelvin. Now, if E1, now the emissive power E1, it first initially it was P. Now as T2 becomes twice of T1, so the black body, E would become how much? E would become equal to sigma into T2 to the power 4. T2 is twice of T1, so our answer becomes 16 of P. So as the temperature is doubled, the emissive power becomes 16 times. So we'll go to the next question. The cylinder of an IC engine has 40 cm bore and 50 cm stroke. Clearance is 2832 cm cube. The swept volume of the engine is, so the answer is, so we can say the answer is D if we don't consider it as the stroke length as 50 cm but as the total piston length as 50 cm. Because if the total length of the piston is 50 cm and the radius of R is 20 cm, then total volume would be 62,831.85 centimeter cube, which is approximately equal to 62,832 centimeter cube. And then the swept volume would become total volume minus clearance volume. So clearance volume is 2,832. So from here we get swept volume equal to 60,000 centimeter cube. However, if we take the bore length as L equal to 50 millimeter as the 50 millimeter as the stroke length, then this volume V would be the swept volume only, and so this clearance volume is no longer of our, means it doesn't come into the calculation, and our swept volume would be 62,832, which should have been the actual answer, but there is some printing mistake or some mistake in the question. Okay, so we'll go to the next question. The maximum theoretical work obtainable when a system interacts to equilibrium with a reference environment is called, so the answer is, it is called exergy. So I've given you all the definitions of all the options. You can have a look. So we'll go to the next question. The crystal structure of aluminium is A. Body centered, B. Face centered, C. Close pack hexagonal, or D. Body centered tetragonal. So the answer is it is a face centered cubic structure. So I've also given the structure of some of the other elements for future reference. So we'll go to the next question. The ratio of momentum diffusivity to thermal diffusivity is called. So the answer is it is called Prandtl number. So Prandtl number is momentum diffusivity to thermal diffusivity. So then Nusselt number is convective heat transfer to conductive heat transfer. Biot number is thermal resistance to for conduction inside the body to resistance for convection at the surface of the body, and Lewis number is thermal diffusivity divided by mass diffusivity. Now Nusselt number and Biot number, they have the same formula HL by K. However, if we see that for Nusselt number, H is the convection heat transfer coefficient of the flow, whereas for Biot number, H is the convection heat transfer coefficient of that is same, but the K is the thermal conductivity of fluid for Nusselt number. For Biot number, K is the thermal conductivity of the body. Okay, so we'll go to the next question. The product of either force of couple with arm of the couple is called, so it is called moment of the couple. So this is the force F, and this is the arm A, the arm length A. So the force product of force into this arm length, it is the moment of the couple. So we define it as M is equal to F into A. So we'll go to the next question. The carbide tools operating at very low cutting speed, that is around below 30 meter per minute. So what happens to it? So to its tool life, so the tool life reduces. So the tool life for this reduces. Generally we operate carbide tools at a very high speed, and we have given what carbide tools are and how they are made and all. So you can go through it. So we'll go to the next question. The coefficient of performance of a domestic refrigerator as compared to a domestic air conditioner is, so the COP of domestic refrigerator, whether it is greater or less than a COP of a domestic air conditioner. So let us check. The answer is, see, the COP of a domestic refrigerator we can give as T2 by T1 minus T2. So T2 is the refrigerator space desired effect, and T1 is the atmospheric temperature. So T1 minus T2 whereby T1 by T2. Okay. Now the COP of a domestic air conditioner, then COP of AC would be T3 divided by T1 minus T3, where T3 is the temperature maintained by the air conditioner and T1 is the atmospheric temperature again. Now from this we can find out T1 is equal to T2 into 1 plus 1 by COP of refrigerator, and T1 is also equal to T3 into 1 plus 1 by COP of AC. Now if we compute T1 equal to both T1, so we get T2 into 1 plus 1 by COP of refrigerator is equal to T3 into 1 plus 1 by COP of AC. So from here you see, from this equation, T3 is maintained at a greater temperature, means AC we use at higher temperatures around like 60 degree to 30 degree, whereas T2 it is in the refrigerator space, so it is around from minus 5 degree to around how much, minus 24 degree also it can contain until 5 degree. Okay, so if we divide it, T3 by T2 is then greater than 1. So this part is equal to number greater than 1 into this part. So this part would be greater than the second part. So from here we get that 1 plus 1 by COP of refrigerator is greater than 1 plus 1 by COP of AC. From here we get 1 by COP of refrigerator is greater than 1 by COP of AC, or COP of AC is greater than COP of refrigerator. So the COP of refrigerator is less than the COP of AC. So option B is the correct answer. So we'll go to the next question. If the flow of air through the compressor is perpendicular to its axis, then it is an So if it is perpendicular to its axis, then it is a centrifugal compressor. Okay, so we'll go to the next question. What is the moment of inertia acting on a circle of diameter 50 millimeter? So the moment of inertia we need to find out. So answer is the moment of inertia of a circle I is equal to Ixx or Iyy is equal to pi by 64 d to the power 4. So I is equal to approximately 306.79 into 10 to the power 3 millimeter to the power 4. So it is option B. So we'll go to the next question. The optimal effective temperature for human comfort is, so the optimal, so whether it is we the optimal effective temperature for human comfort, whether it is higher in winter or lower in winter than summer or same, but it doesn't depend on season. So the answer is the optimal effective temperature for human comfort is lower in winter than summer. And for this we have a comfort chart that shows the comfort zone of people in summer, winter and in all year round condition at different dry bulb temperature and wet bulb temperature. So we'll go to the next question. For a rigid body, the value of Poisson ratio is, the answer is, for a rigid body, Poisson's ratio, as you know, it is lateral strain by longitudinal strain. So as it is rigid, so it doesn't deform. So as it doesn't deform, so the Poisson ratio is 0. However, for all practical solids, it is between 0 and 1. So we'll go to the next question. Consider the following properties of vapor: pressure, temperature, dryness factor, and specific volume. So, which two properties are not sufficient to specify the condition of steam? So, the answer is pressure and temperature are constant when water changes its phase from saturated liquid to saturated steam. That means what? When the dryness fraction is 0 till the dryness fraction is 1, the pressure and temperature are constant. Now, as they are constant, so we need some other criteria because they are constant, so we cannot determine dryness fraction with the knowledge of only pressure or temperature or both. Okay, so we'll go to the next question. Which of the following is an elastic curve equation for the shear force? So the answer is the reflection profile of a beam is known as its elastic curve. Now for a beam, m is equal to ei d square y by dx square. Again, the rate of change of bending moment curve is equal to shear force, that is F is equal to dm by dx. So from here we get F is equal to ei d cube y by dx cube. So we'll go to the next question. The wavelength of the radiation emitted. So the wavelength of radiation, it depends on temperature only, on the material also, or doesn't depend on the material, or depend on temperature but doesn't depend on the material. So the answer is the wavelength of radiation emitted is only dependent on the temperature and does not depend on the material of the body. So option D is the correct answer. So we'll go to the next question. Metals are good conductors of heat because their atoms collide frequently, their atoms are relatively far apart, their atoms contain free electrons, or they have high density. So the answer is actually metals are good conductors of heat because they contain free electrons as well as because their atoms collide frequently. However, in metals, this transfer of heat through the electrons is much greater than the transfer of heat through this vibration or through the collision of these atoms. So, option C is the correct answer. That is free electrons. So, we'll go to the next question. The material used for coating the electrode is called, the answer is, it is called flux. Now this flux assists in eliminating both undesirable oxides and preventing their formation. So we'll go to the next question. For better COP of refrigerator, the pressure range corresponding to the evaporator and the condenser must be, so the answer is, see, COP of refrigerator is the temperature of evaporator and divided by the temperature of condenser minus temperature of evaporator. Now from here we see that Tc minus Te should be small, and this at this temperature phase change occurs. So the pressure range, if it is small, then this value Tc minus Te would be small. So our answer is that the pressure range corresponding to this evaporator condenser must be small for better COP. So we'll go to the next question. Combustion in compressor ignition engine is, the answer is, it is heterogeneous, because this fuel self-ignite as that pressure is increased, temperature, so it self-ignite, so it is heterogeneous. However, in spark ignition, as we give a homogeneous mixture and then a spark is generated, so in spark ignition engine the combustion is homogeneous. So we'll go to the next question. Cast iron has, so the property of cast iron is that cast iron has low tensile strength, it is brittle, and its elastic limit is close to the ultimate breaking strength. So it is option B. So it has low tensile strength and low ductility, that's why it is brittle. We'll go to the next question. Coke is produced by, so coke is generally used for the extraction of iron from its ore. So coke, it is produced by strongly heating coal continuously for about 48 hours in the absence of air in a closed vessel. This process is called carbonization of coal. The other options, there is pulverization and other that I have also mentioned. Now this production of coke generates a lot of smoke, mostly carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide, and it is a very polluting work. So we'll go to the next question. Which of the following is a lower pair? A. Ball and socket, B. Piston and cylinder, C. Cam and follower, or D. Both A and B. So the answer is both A and B, as a ball and a socket is a spherical pair in which there is area contact, and as such is a lower pair. Now the joint of our arm with our shoulder is a ball and socket joint. Then a piston and cylinder is also a lower pair, as there is area contact when the piston moves inside the cylinder. So these are lower pairs. And a cam and a follower is a higher pair, as we know it is a line or a point contact, so it is a higher pair. So we'll go to the next question. Which effect is useful in measuring rapidly varying forces? Piezoelectric, strain gauge, photovoltaic, or pneumatic gauging? So the answer is, it is piezoelectric effect. We see piezoelectric effect here, the force is applied in a piezoelectric crystal and deformation is produced in the crystal, which in turn produces a potential difference, that is a voltage at the surface of the crystal. So this voltage can be recorded, and then we get the force, we can get the force directly from this, and we can get very rapidly varying forces. Then if we see, if we use a strain gauge, it is where because of the force there is a deformation, and this deformation creates a strain, and this strain changes the electrical resistance of the body, and by measuring this electrical resistance the strain is determined. Okay, now this strain can further be used to determine the applied force. So basically it is an indirect way of measuring force, so it is not a direct way of measuring force. Then photovoltaic cells is actually there is no, it is not direct, not used for measuring force only, it is used for producing electric current. So basically in our solar panels photovoltaic cells are used. Now pneumatic gauging is used to measure the size of cylindrical workpieces like bore and shaft diameter, and it uses the Bernoulli's principle, so it is also not a force measuring equipment. So our answer is piezoelectric effect. So with this, we come to the end of the first part of the APSC Public Health Engineering Department Mechanical Engineering paper for Assistant Engineer part 1. So we'll come with the other part shortly. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.